Oh, how things have changed after last week hearing that there were no real trade interest in Nikola Vucevic or Zach LaVine, and then hearing that the Denver Nuggets had serious interest in Zach LaVine yesterday. It now comes out today that the Miami Heat are showing serious interest in a Nikola Vucevic trade. We're going to talk about all and more, but you know what we got to do first? We got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the content today. I was just live talking about Josh Giddey news. Little did I expect is I'd be right back, turn around, be right back live with you guys talking about now a team that could pivot to be interested in Nikola Vucevic at the trade deadline. This one just came out that the Miami Heat are now showing significant interest in potentially trading for Nikola Vucevic with goals of moving Bam Adebayo to the 4. Now, I want to be clear here. This is not as big as the report by Sam Amick. It's just not. It's not as substantiated either. So we'll watch how that ebbs and flows. But the Miami Heat could be an interesting team that could be make a move for Nikola Vucevic, because I thought that's what drafting Khalil Ware was for them to move Bam Adebayo to the power forward position. Now, we'll see what happens. Keep in mind, they'd have to match Nikola Vucevic's contract to even get this deal done. I actually have a trade here. This one's from Vaughn. He may be in the chat as well. Vaughn created this shortly after the trade came out. This would be, oh, wow. Vaughn's tripping on this one. But Vaughn put together a trade, Nikola Vucevic, Javon Carter, and Lonzo Ball, and a second-round pick for Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Khalil Ware, another second-round pick, and then a lottery-protected first-round 2029 lottery pick. Now, I don't in any way think you're getting all that for Nikola Vucevic. I think that is a way too friendly deal for Vuce personally. But I do think that if the Miami Heat are motivated to try to put a team together that can still compete, there's still the Jimmy Butler questions and things that are out there, they can put together a trade. Now, if they're willing to move off of Terry Rozier's contract, then that does open the door. And per what Vaughn tried to put in there is he's trying to factor in maybe they would be a team that could be interested in Lonzo. I don't particularly think that, but Duncan Robinson's contract, if the Bulls are interested in taking that contract back, which does have an additional year, and that's a player option for 2025-26, that could be an interesting thing that could get this deal involved and start going. But I don't think this is anywhere as much of a I won't call it a surefire thing, but as much as a straight line move as what Denver could be for Zach LaVine, because they do have Michael Porter Jr.'s contract. But it's something to think of. It's something to look at when it comes down to that. Somebody asked, does the Miami Heat have tradable first-round picks? Yeah, actually, Miami Heat could trade their first-round pick in 2030 and 2031. Now, not in the same trade, but those are the two picks that they do have available to move in that type of deal. Send Jimmy back. LOL. Would you want him? I mean, not for the state that this team is. Jimmy Butler would just be frustrated on this team, to be quite honest with you. I love the talent of Jimmy Butler, even with him aging right now and going on a little bit of slide, but Jimmy Butler would be so frustrated by the state of this organization. If we can trade Vooch and Zach today or soon, that would be awesome. I doubt it happens anytime soon. I don't think that any trade for Zach or Vooch goes down before January 5th. I just don't think that it happens. So we're 3 more weeks away, but I don't think it's going to go down anytime soon, G-Money. Do the Heat? I just mentioned that, Adrian. Damn, you just ended the video. The grind don't stop, huh? It never stops here at Chicago Bulls Central. I said we're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And to do that, that means we got to bring all the breaking news, even if that means I got to come on this show 15 times. Off topic, you have to re-sign only one point guard next season, Lonzo or Giddey. It depends on what the money is. It depends on honestly, and I don't say that just to dodge your question. It depends on what the money is. I'm not going to lie. It'll be sad to see Vooch leave, but I understand the long-term plans. I'm right there with you, bro. Oh shit! If the Bulls can get Khalil Ware, that trade will be great for them, especially if it means getting back a young big with a lot of potential. Here's the thing: you're not going to get back Khalil Ware unless you're giving up a first round pick. You just don't. You're not going to get that back. Realistically, you're not going to get that back. Vaughn, I don't know if you saw or not. I was actually reading your trade that you put in the group. I don't think the Bulls are going to get Khalil Ware back. Now, if they were, great, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Man, if we trade Vooch and Zach, I'll cry tears of joy. That is hilarious, man. You sleep in the studio. That's the point of having a studio in the crib, is that it's ready. Listen, watch this. Alexa, turn off studio.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on studio.
Okay.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And I'm up and ready to go. That's all it takes. Realistically, what do you think the Heat have to offer for Vooch? And do you think they're asking for Zoe in the trade too? He definitely have the money to match. I mean, Vaughn, per the trade that you put out there, if they do want Zoe, I do think it's going to be something that you laid out. I don't know if they try to get all that done in one trade. Honestly, I think that the trade will probably just be Vooch. Or you're looking at probably Vooch for Duncan Robinson and maybe a future first swap or a protected first. Is probably what you're looking at. Yeah, that doesn't mean that player's not going anywhere, Kingpin. You got to look at the situation. That means nothing as far as Zach not going anywhere. Sorry. Goddamn, my nigga, you be on it. The hardest working man on YouTube. I mean, listen, I told y'all when I decided to start this channel, I said to myself, if I can't do this at the level where I'm breaking news at the level of ESPN, I don't want to do it. And that was dead ass. I literally, before starting this channel, said to myself, if I cannot do this where I am I'm the one-stop shop for Bulls content, I don't want to do it. I don't want to, and that's the thing, like, I don't want to do shit and just be okay. I just don't, I'm not okay with that in my spirit, right? I gotta excel. So, it's a little bit of pettiness in me. But yeah. I don't think we're getting young pieces from these trades. We just need picks and to get our picks and build from the draft. Well, that's the thing. You can't get picks back without here. Teams are going to be very protective of picks because of the new CBA. And so because of that, you're not going to get just picks back. And that's why, like, in the Denver is a good trade for Bulls, because they have to send back Michael Porter Jr., which is still a young asset, right? And you see where you get from there. Kingpin says, good shit. Appreciate you, brother, for the support. What happens if they're looking to add to the team? They're not. I'm talking about the Bulls. They're not looking to add to the team. I can tell you that right now. The Bulls are in no way looking to add to the team. I get it. I get it why you want that. I'm not saying you're crazy or you're off your rocker or anything for wanting that, but this team is not in it. This team is saw and keep in mind, what did AK say at the press conference? We know that this roster is not the final roster. They're trying to see who can prove that they're part of the final, but that shows you that they don't think anymore that this is the roster that can get shit done. And it's just not. It's not. It's been proven. If AK played his cards right and gotten OKC's first round pick in the Caruso trade, we already would have gotten Khalil Ware in addition to. Okay, we would have, could have, should have. That don't matter at this point. I'm sorry. I get it, and Bulls fans are right to be upset by that. But at some point, you got to let it go. Unless you're going to invent a time machine, go back and tell AK, hey, get that first. It's not going to happen. So, you got to look at what you have now, and you got to try to move forward in what you can do. Something tells me AK is not going to trade neither Zach or Vooch unless it's guaranteed first round pick. That's just my belief. Well, Shay, if we went off just things that were your belief, society may be dead. So there's that aspect of it as well, brother. There's definitely that aspect of it as well. Got to throw my little brother Shay some fun. Bulls, Denver, Heat, 3-team trade. We can get Khalil Ware. I don't see that being a 3-team trade. It's too much money for it to be a 3-team trade and too many moving pieces. I doubt the Bulls get Khalil Ware back unless they're giving up a first round pick. I personally don't see that done. The Miami Heat, who don't have, they have first round picks, but they're going to probably be protective of it. They're clearly seeing a route where their roster has to go younger, right? And so, like, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Vucevic, Khalil Ware, even Tyler Hero having the season that he's having. I just don't think that you're going to get Khalil Ware back in that type of trade. I personally don't. Now, if the Bulls do, great. I'm not saying, hey, I don't want Khalil Ware. Cool. But I don't think so. Is it possible that the Bulls could get Khalil Ware in a trade for Vooch? I just talked about that. I mean, anything is possible. It depends on a lot of other maneuvers and things. The Bulls have Bulls been having the momentum to close to 500. No one is that's the Bulls have no momentum close to five. What are you talking about? Do you live in an alternate reality? The Bulls are on pace to win 32 games this season. Where is that? Oh, and what is getting five? What does 500 do? I'm sorry. Even if they did, what does 500 do for you? Nothing. Nothing. You still have one of the worst defenses in the league. You have no half court offense. You're not winning anything with that. You're not winning anything with that. The Heat aren't really given where playing time. Yeah, but I think we're past the point where playing time means that a team doesn't like a player. It doesn't necessarily mean that. They could see that he needs some serious development. Keep in mind, Pat Riley is one of the most patient GMs as well. Just because they're not playing him right now, I don't think that means they're out or they're down on Khalil Ware. Personally, again, this is just my personal opinion. First Heat pick in 2029 and the 2026 second round pick. You don't think the Heat would want Porter in the 3-team trade? He's only 26, kind of fits their timeline, but I hear you. Doubt they get Ware. Yeah, I doubt it. It's a trade that makes sense on paper, but I don't think that makes sense. I mean, if the Bulls were to work it out to where they wind up not taking Michael Porter Jr., they get the first from Denver, they get a first from Miami or Khalil Ware back and make that all work and take some bad salary, I'm not mad at it. I just don't think it's realistic, though. I don't think it's realistic. Who do you think is more likely to not be traded, Zach or Vooch? Who I don't know. I honestly don't know, bro. And I don't say that not to answer your question. I legitimately have no idea. It really can ebb and flow. It changes like the wind in the Midwest, bro. It can really go anyway. Really go anyway. So we'll see, though. We'll see what happens there. But I mean, and I'll read Von's trade because it's a very well thought out trade. I want to be clear here. It's a very well thought out trade. So Von's trade is the Bulls get Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, and Khalil Ware. They get a 2026 second round pick and a 2029 first round pick. They send out Lonzo, send out Vooch, send out the ball headed hoe and Javon Carter, and then they get a 2020, and then we also send a 2028 second round pick. I mean, it's a sensible trade, but do the Miami Heat want to risk that on Lonzo's knees, right? Where I get it that Terry Rozier is not Lonzo, make no mistake about it. But I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I mean, if it happens, it'll be a great trade. It'll be probably the best trade that AK has made if that trade were to go down. And shout out to Von for really putting a lot of thought into that trade. Von, Von, me and you need to collab on an article. I've been doing the articles on Substack. I want to do like a trade, a complete trade speculation article. I want to do the 3 best trades for Vooch, 3 best trades for Zach LaVine, and do an article on that. So link with me. Let's see if we can work collaboratively on that one. If the Heat are willing to pull the trigger on a trade for Vooch outside of picks and Ware, what would be the most realistic? So I don't personally think Ware's a realistic package. I think more so they'd be looking to dump Duncan Robinson and send a first round pick. I don't think you get a first round pick and Khalil Ware back. That's just my personal opinion. I don't believe that. But I think if you are willing to take the contract of Duncan Robinson on, which goes the same amount of time as Nikola Vucevic is, you get, again, that's us getting more guards though. But then you probably get a first round pick back in that case, in my opinion. This trade shit is fun to speculate for sure. I wish I could just hear the phone calls between these teams. I wonder what goes on, especially listen to AK talk with man. Listen, that would be hilarious, bro. That would be hilarious, man. That would be really funny. But all right, y'all. I'm already 5 minutes late. I was supposed to go to do Bleacher. I took my job at Bleacher Report and said, "Hey, I'm gonna be late. I gotta go do Bull Central." That's what I did for y'all because I love y'all. Don't nobody love y'all like I do. Listen, nobody loves Bulls fandom like me. Y'all just gotta remember that. Remember that, right? When everything's going on here, when you got Bulls Now by Chat Now, whatever. When you got those, everybody's trying. Nobody does it like Chicago Bulls Central. If it wasn't for me cussing motherfuckers out so consistently, we'd be at 30,000 subscribers. But I gotta be me, and I don't take dumb shit, and I curse people out from time to time. But I love you guys. Make sure you guys are following the show. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you lovely and beautiful people. And like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See what, by the way, I'm full-time now at Bleacher Report. For those that don't know, I'm a full-time video content producer over on Bleacher Report. That starts in January. I'm going to be focusing on the Bulls, focusing on the Bears with some Bulls content, but I am now Bleacher Report Chicago. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.